guys, you'll be greeted by this huge 100-year-old house. So apparently this house was built about 100 years ago and it's massive. And talking about parking, you got a lot of parking space. So all of this that you see here is basically the parking area over here. So you can fit in a lot of bikes and cars. In my previous video, I would have shown you the off-road path that leads us from the main road all the way to the resort. So if you're traveling on your own, by your own vehicle, do not forget to check that video out. Okay, and just beside the parking spot, they've got the first setup. So this setup is basically the A-frame type accommodation, guys. So the A-frame accommodation can sleep about 2 people. I think 3 people can fit in, but it's meant for basically 2 people, right? So they've got about 6 of these A-frame accommodations in here. So one, if you're coming in as a family, maybe you can just book this entire place for yourself. So there's about 6 over here. And this is the restroom, guys. So for the pods here, so there's about 6 pods over here, and for 6 pods they've got about 4 restrooms. Out of the 4, one says no entry, but let's just leave it at that. So 4 toilets for about 6 pods, I think, is pretty good enough. Now let's get in and check the cleanliness. The most important thing that I check for is cleanliness. So this one has been washed, neat, clean. There's like a shower in here, and this one is pretty neat as well. So for a camping site, so I'm not going to call this glamping because it's not luxurious camping. Okay, so I'm not going to call this glamping. I'm going to call this a camping site because of the restrooms. As I said, 4 restrooms for about 6 people is pretty okay, guys. And it's pretty neat as well. So as long as it's maintained neat and clean, I don't think it should be an issue. It should be pretty decent. It should be a pretty good stay for us. The best thing about this place is, guys, the path is very well lit up. So the path is paved and it's lit up as well. So you won't really have any problems getting to your accommodation. And if you have luggage, you can just drag it all the way to your accommodation. Okay, and just beside the A-frame accommodation, right in the middle, they've got this fire pit over here. So the campfire starts at about, I think, 9:30 or 10. Basically, campfire starts post dinner. So once everybody's had their dinner and settled down, the campfire is set up. This is what it looks like in the day, but I'll also show you what it looks like in the night, guys. All right, and once you come to the extreme right, you've got these mushroom type huts over here. So there's about 6 of them, and this is best suited for, if you have a huge group, maybe. So each of these huts, they will fit about 4 people in there. 4 people comfortably can fit in there. And just like the other setup, guys, the restroom is located just beside the setup. So each of these type of houses, it comes with its own toilets. So there's about 4 toilets in here. So 4 toilets is shared by about 6 houses over here. And in case you guys come with a driver, right, I don't have to worry about that as well, because you get separate tents specifically for drivers. So in case you have a driver, you come by car or you've hired a vehicle, they will give you a separate tent just for the driver. I don't know what the costs are, but I'm sure it's very, very reasonable. And talking about breakfast and dinner, guys, so they do not serve lunch. They only serve dinner and breakfast. So dinner consists of, ghee rice, chicken curry, some kebabs. For breakfast, they serve the Kerala special, which is puttu and kadle curry. So that's about the food, guys. About the resort, I think I've showed you almost everything. So you can get a glimpse from where I'm standing. So this is the group pods. This is the main house. That's the parking. they just have this net set up over here, so if you want to play badminton or volleyball you can play, but other than that there isn't much of a outdoor activity, guys. There is an indoor activity area inside the house, and inside they've got carom board, they got foosball tables, basically card games and board games. Okay, and talking about vehicles, guys, it really isn't. There is definitely an off-road path. It's slightly difficult, but I wouldn't say it's impossible because I was able to get through on my bike. There are a couple of other bikes as well. I've seen a scooty as well come up on top. There are a few other cars, hatchbacks, you know, hatchbacks and SUVs. SUVs should not be a problem. For hatchbacks, I spoke to the owners. They told me it was slightly difficult. However, they made it through. So it should not be a problem if you guys are coming in whatever vehicles you are. Or as I said in my previous video, right? In case you guys do not want to risk it, you can just leave your vehicles at the bottom, at the foothills. And from there, you can hire a Jeep, which will bring you all the way to the top. Okay guys, I guess that's about it. I've showed you everything that I can about the property. In case you have questions, please write them in the comments below and I'll be happy to answer them for you. Please share this with your family and friends for those who are planning on coming to this resort. And I will see you very soon in an upcoming video, guys. Until then, take care and be safe.